Hi, I'm Peter Davis and welcome to Fuel. On today's Back to Basics episode, we're going to be cleaning the spark plugs on my 91 shitbox. Why do we need to clean spark plugs, or change them in fact? Well, it's part of your engine's ignition system. You've got the air going in, you've got the fuel going in, and the spark plugs are what causes a small explosion above the piston head and pushes it down. And if the spark plug is not sparking correctly, then the explosions are not going to be happening at the right time and your engine will not be smoothly firing, it'll be like duh. So I've been driving this car and at around 7,000 RPM, there's a little bit of a stutter in the get-go. So that means the explosions are not happening in my engine quite correctly. And I'd like to take my spark plugs out, have a look at them and see how dirty they are, and then clean them. So on this engine we have a cover and we're going to need to get it off. Okay, there you go, remove the cover and now we can see our coil pack. What are we faced with now? We're faced with 10mm bolts, so we're going to try and get those out. My toolbox, 10mm, going to just stick that on there, try and undo it. Okay, so here, anti-clockwise, undo all these first. Okay, good. One big tip would be to wait for the engine to cool down, because if you've just driven the car and you stop the car and you haven't let your engine cool down, you're going to be burning your hands to death, especially when you get to the spark plugs, which is why even now the engine's a bit cooler, I'm going to be using some gloves to get the spark plugs out or to handle them. First one, lift it up. Just need to undo this bolt a little bit. This is ignition coil. Okay, there you go, and it's wrapped. And you can see down in here, there is in fact a spark plug all the way at the bottom. I know that my spark plugs take a 16mm socket set, but you need to get a deep socket set like this one. I'm going to put it on my breaker bar, and I'm going to use my special beating tube from the plumbing shop to help me undo the said spark plug. Down it goes. Okay, I can feel it's lodged in nicely, and then just anti-clockwise. Loosen it, and then you can just twist it by hand. Now we have our spark plug, and it's going to be nice and undone. Okay, it's going to be loose. It's not coming up in this socket set because unfortunately I haven't bought a spark plug specific one, but what I do have is the magic of the coil pack. Empty, full. There you go. There's our spark plug. We're going to take it out and we're going to have a look at it. Now it looks very black, which is very normal. I see a bit of rust there, which is not good, but the black just means it's got fuel going through the system, and if I wipe it with my finger, which means it's not that hot, you can see it's clearing up quite nicely. Okay, I'm going to put the glove on the other hand, and then I'm going to use a very special tool that you can get from any DIY shop, which is a wire wool brush, which is much like a toothbrush, and we're going to turn this old looking spark plug into a new one. Gonna have to do some ECU tuning at some point. Clean this one up. Just the head of it, just the tip is absolutely fine. You can use engine degreaser, you can use carburetor cleaner, brake cleaner is a good way to clean it if you just want to spray on, but physically getting in there with a wire brush is definitely the most effective way. Ta-da! And actually pretty clean. It's come up very well. Also, you can see there's a gap there. This should be about 0.8mm. So this is actually a very small gap, and this gap can be measured with the spark plug gap measuring tool, which I don't have with me. So we're just going to put this back in and trust that it's the right distance. So to drop them back in, you can literally just get it as low as possible. And I like to push it up against the side and then just drop it and hope for the best. So yeah, you can see the spark plug is just there. And then what you're going to do is just scoop it off the edge, get it in the hole, anti-clockwise a little bit till it goes click, and then we're going to go clockwise and do it up. Now to get it tighter, put on my beating bar, and torque it. Obviously, perfect torque specs. Okay, let's test it. Okay, 3, 2, 1. As smooth as the shitbox ever was. Thank you so much for watching me change the spark plugs, or rather clean them, on my 91 shitbox. If you want any more basic stuff done to your car or want to know how to do it, write it down in the comments below. Let us know what you want us to do to your car and maybe we'll come around and do it, or my producer will, I'm not sure. Do it, like, subscribe and get fueled.